Hey, so we have this Wii that I have here, and what we're going to do, we're going to mod it with this Electron Shepard's AVE HDMI. And I got this in eBay, and I tested it already, and it does turn on, but it can't read the disc, but everything else works. So I have on the right here a broken spare drive. I know the laser works because I just installed a new laser trying to fix it, but in the end it doesn't work. So what I'm gonna do is take that laser on the right, or from the right drive, and replace it with the broken laser on this Wii, and hopefully that will fix the problem. We can play games, so that's what we'll do now. So the screws that we'll be removing will be here, 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 in the bottom, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I think that would be it. Oh wait, here there's gonna be screws here as well as down here, so that's what we're going to do. The stickers, these are adhesive, so we're going to use air gun, just have it in a low setting, so that's what we will be doing. I'm gonna just put it here, have it in 100 degrees. You can see it's about 100 degrees over there, so we just slowly remove it with this. That way it's nice, it comes out cleanly. See? So we're gonna do that. So we'll do that for the rest of these sections. Now we got all the screws out. I mean the adhesive covers. We'll remove the screws as well. So we're gonna put this Wii to the side, and we're gonna focus on the original drive that wasn't working, and we're gonna replace it with a the laser here, so this is the old one, where it looks like there's two different kind of lasers, but it looks like this one is similar to this this drive. So yeah, we can easily swap it. So let's remove the tape so that we can start the process of swapping the laser. We then remove the two screws on the PCB. And we then remove the ribbon cable that's connected to the PCB from the laser. And in this one, we make sure that all the other ribbon cables are removed from the hard drive PCB. This one is a bit difficult, and also be gentle, because they can easily be damaged. And once all PC cables are removed, we can now flip the PCB over so we can have access to the screw underneath. The next thing we need to do is remove, or flip the clips that's attached to the case of the drive. These clips from the metal plate that protects the laser are very flexible, so if you do pry it too strongly, they might permanently bend, so just be a little bit gentle on that. Next is to remove the plate once all the clips are unhinged, and we do now have access to the laser. Before that though, we remove this bar over here by removing the screw. Just slide it over or to the side, and then we just flip or just pick up the laser from its rails. And so this is the old laser. It's to save time, I went ahead and skipped the part where I disassembled the other drive, and I will now be installing the new laser into the old one hard drive. And this is the new one that we just removed. I did the whole thing already. What we just do now is just take this off and put this broken one away, and hopefully this one will fit right here. And then the rod goes like this. Snap it all the way. Yeah, I think it's like that. And then we just screw it back in. All right, we replaced the lens. It should be correct. Let's put it back into the Wii. Here's the Wii. All right, let's install the ribbons. I'm gonna do that. All right, so I just put the new drive on and turn this on. Oh shoot, there's like a weird noise on this drive. Okay, turn this on. Let's see if we can read the disc. All right, it does. It reads the disc. Let's see if we can play the game. Okay, so all right, we can. It looks like we can play the game. Let's see. Press it. See, it's not freezing, so it looks like the lens is working. Okay, move it around. Okay, so next stop, I think we should try the GameCube and see if it works. Do have this Mario Kart. Let's see if we can read the disc. I know that noise. It's making that fucking weird noise. Can it read the GameCube? I cannot read a GameCube. Oh shoot. Let's try a different GameCube. It looks like this game is able to be read. Select it. So I guess it does play games, but it just makes a noise. Okay, so it does work. So the game it can play GameCube games. Oh shit, it's hard to play one hand, but it does play. Is it able to play GameCube games? Here, let's jump. See, able to jump. Anyway, that's a good test. So to fix that clicking noise from the drive, we're gonna open up the drive first and replace that gear there in the lower hand corner. And in this particular drive, the gear is actually cracked. And so here I'll be removing that piece as I show you here. Looking in the microscope, you can see the crack clearly on this gear, and luckily for me I had a spare, so I was able to fix this problem. In my last video, this is one of the problems that I highlighted when fixing that other particular Wii, and this Wii again has similar problems. So apparently this could be a common issue. Because this is a fairly common problem, I actually wanted to have access to extra gears, and there's someone in Reddit that I found who 3D printed or 3D prints this gear. So it is available out there if you are looking for extras. With that gear replacement, the ticking noise has disappeared, just a regular gear turning noise. And we can continue on with this mod installation. Alright, so we got the Wii disassembled and we have access to the underside of the motherboard. We will now go and solder the AVE Electron Shepard's AVE HDMI kit. Here I'm putting in a little bit of flux onto the specific leads that we will be accessing. So I just put a little bit of flux here. Alright, so I skip ahead a bit where I applied the solder onto these leads, and I'm just trying to clean up the work, making sure that there's enough solder on each of the leads that we'll be working on. Alright, so this picture shows the specific points that we'll be using to solder in the HDMI mod kit onto the motherboard. So here we put the flex cable with the lead points on top of the motherboard and try to align it in such a way that we can see the solder balls that we put on there. So I learned this technique from Voltaire. He has a YouTube channel, and the best way to make sure that the points are aligned is to choose one lead point, and especially the middle, and then that way it can be used as a pivot point as you adjust to have the alignment perfect. So once I've got the alignment the best that I could, I then tacked in another point, securing the flex cable. And that way you eliminate the pivot and the movement, and then you just point your solder point onto each hole and making sure that the solder will melt on top of the connection. To have a better connection as well, apply a little bit of flux, and that way the solder will just ball up perfectly on top of the points. To finish the job, we apply some isopropyl onto the surface to clean up any solder and other residue. So this picture shows a schematic diagram of the leads that we use in our mod kit, and we can use this diagram to make sure that our solder points are connected to the motherboard, and so that's what I'll be showing you next. Next, we verified all the connections here. It all are connected appropriately. We now have to tin these sections here, so we're gonna do that. We'll be connecting the 3.3 here. In this section here, we're putting the ground connection here. The GameCube GCD will be connected to this, and the 5.5 bolts will be connected to this. So I'm gonna go and solder this right now. Right now that we've connected all the necessary wires, GameCube menu access 5 volts, ground right here, and the 3 volts connection right here. We test to make sure that there's continuity. See this one right here, it's connected, perfect. The 5 volts right here, and making sure there was it's not connected to ground, perfect. This ground right here, okay, there's ground, the 3.3 volts. Good. Okay, perfect. So now that we're done with that, let's put this all back together. I'm gonna fast forward it and see what we will do next. All right, now that we've tested this board and the mod, now we're gonna go and put it back, but I'm gonna tape these two first, make sure it doesn't hit these holes, and we can put it back. All right, so one thing I forgot to do is install the mini HDMI. It goes right here, and we just want to make sure that it's squared by having this portion, having this section here squared, and I think that's good enough. Like installing the mod kit on the motherboard, we choose one point of the breakout board here and then use that as a pivot point. And then once you choose the right position, you can lock that position in by soldering in another point, and in that way you can adjust the board in such a way that it fits perfectly on the motherboard. One thing I would like to confess in installing this part of the mod kit is one of the smaller points, solder points here, I connected together, and later on that resulted in a lot of time wasted in figuring out why the signal, the HDMI signal, when playing the Wii or using the Wii, would turn on and off for a few seconds. And I suspected it was because of this mistake that I've done here.
Flex cable, making sure that
that point right there is, or that point right there was connected together
is complete.
With
now let's go and test
above.
it.
And so to avoid the headache, make sure that these points are not connected together.
With this new piece
you can
here,
use the
so we're gonna need to remove this part of the
multimeter to avoid that problem
of the metal shield. So let's go and do that. So an easy way to remove this part is you just bend it a couple times, just flex it, flexo stress. Okay, we bend it a couple times and it's about to break. So we have that. We're gonna also remove this part as well. We don't need this. We can just use this pliers actually. So we got that removed. Maybe we can flatten this out. One moment. What we're also gonna remove is this section right here. So if we can do that with this clippers. Now we put this back. Making sure we bend this properly. There you go. We get this, put it here. All right, making sure everything fits. Should be good enough. If you want, you can remove a little bit here, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't think that's necessary. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna test it. But first, we're gonna put this back, the heat sink. So, all right. And to test this, we need this. This is the least amount of requirement. This is the Wi-Fi antenna. We're gonna install the fan temporarily. All right. So we got the wires all connected here: power cable, mini HDMI, the Wii sensor, and the Wi-Fi antenna. We got the TV set already. So let's turn them on. The moment of truth. Okay, the Y. All right. Okay, it looks like it turns on. All right, the Wi-Fi looks like it turns on. Okay, I think we're good. All right. One thing we need to do is check the next thing we need to do is check the audio. So we're gonna plug in the Wii GameCube controller. So once you plug in the GameCube controller onto the Wii, you can access the menu or this menu by pressing all keys at the same time, left, right, X and Y buttons in the GameCube controller. Right, as you can see, I turned on the audio using the enhanced DVI mode, and we're gonna save that. So it looks like everything's working.
Now that we know that everything works, we're going to put everything back. So let's do that. One of the things we need to do is cut a notch right here for this new space of the new mini HDMI for this cover. So let's do that right now. So I just cut the notch right here, and we'll be installing it. Installing the thing right about something like that. Clean that up a little bit.
Alright, thank you for those of you who made it this far. I know it was a long video, and we covered a lot of things, from swapping lasers from working one to the broken existing one. We also replaced that broken gear that was causing the ticking noise in the disk drive with a new one, and we also modded this Wii as well. We modded this Wii using Electron Shepard's AVE HDMI mod kit, and it's a really affordable, high quality mod kit. I would highly recommend anyone who's interested in maybe purchasing one and want to do they're interested in their own installation. It's You just gotta be a bit patient, have steady hands, especially with the small solder points on the motherboard. Other than that, I highly again recommend this mod kit if you want to upgrade your old Wii. Okay, as we end this video, I just want to make sure to avoid any problems like me. Make sure that you do not connect two of the leads or any of the leads in the mini HDMI breakout boards together, because that will cause some HDMI video flickering in my experience. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.